Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tabletop Tactician. This is Operation Iron Sky, US Global 6.4. Let's get started here. Real quick, housekeeping from Backfire's turn. When he fired the ASM at the oil tanker, ASMs cannot be fired from the same zone they're targeting, so he elected to keep that here at I7, so the hit counts, but we will fire from I7. With that, ignoring this battle border that's preset here, go on to our techs. So we are going for techs 4, 6, 7, and 9, advanced SOBM on the yellow die. Excuse me. Tech 6 on the gray die, that's long range missiles, both of those needing 8 or higher. SDI is 7 on the blue die, needing a 10 or higher. And Tech 9 is advanced ASFs on a 7 or higher. That's on the black and gold die. So big numbers, those are big numbers. So that's a 6 and a 2, so those will miss. We will hit two 11s. So that will advance SOBMs to stage 3, and SDI will move to stage 2. And it is morning again in America. We're going to re-roll for... We're going to go with advanced SOBMs here to try to complete that. And no dice. I still cannot hit a morning again in America. Alright, let's spend some money here. We had 54 IPP. So sorry. Gravity has a thing. Okay, we have 54 IPP to spend and 5 battle stars. So we're using our 5 battle stars to upgrade the major army base and upgrade to a major army base in southeast US. Military aid for, that's 9, I do believe, a destroyer and a next-gen MBT to our NATO allies. To South Africa for 8 with arms sales, we are sending an attack helo and an air cav. And for 2 with arms sales, we are sending Egypt an air cav as well. On ourselves, we are buying a fighter for 6, attack helo for 5, 9 for a next-gen MBT and an MBT, 3 on an airborne, and 12 on another fighter and attack bomber. We will build 2, that is 2 ASMs, and I believe it's 3 cruise missiles. I'm using up all my scopes right now, presetting the battle board. So I do believe it's 3, 1, 2. No, it's 2. Excuse me. It is 2. 2 cruise missiles. I'll just add those chips. There. All right, on to our combats. So our first combat here is Syria. So everything you see on this 5th Army card here, this was the Soviets. I went ahead and pre-positioned them on the battle board. But this is everything that was in Israel. We're going to be attacking with 1 airborne, 2 light infantry, a field artillery firing Kim, a air cav, 2 SAMs, fighter, and attack bomber. Joining them from Lebanon will be a light infantry. Coming off of our fleet here in M something. My goodness, where M8 will be the Top Gun ASF, 2 ASFs, and a fighter. Coming then from Egypt, which is just off board, and we are going to attempt to align Egypt. Excuse the XO there. We have a fighter coming in from Egypt, an attack bomber, the strategic bomber doing carpet bombing, and another airborne on airborne assault. We are attacking into desert terrain. Not done yet. Coming from the fleet here in I6 will be 2 Top Gun ASFs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they will have 2 remaining as well. I do believe That's not quite the attack. Big part we're forgetting. So coming from that fleet, moving up in the already crowded sea zone will be the cruiser firing a cruise missile. 3 destroyers firing 3 cruise missiles. And the nuclear attack sub firing 2 cruise missiles there as well into the battle. And I have this all pre-staged with duplicate units as well, so we can jump right into that. Other attacks here, I guess completely out of order. Our attack sub here in A40 will move to M2, fire a cruise missile with spy sat into Tunisia. Coming down to the Indian Ocean, we have 2 ASW attacks here. So I-7, we're going to have a frigate, which has sub-detection with our advanced sonar, and 1 fighter attacking that SSN. In I-3, we're going to also have a frigate and the destroyer attacking there. And backfire is selected to silent run on any misses there. And the last attack is a Celestial Eagle here against the Soviet spy satellite. Let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and resolve all the other battles first. So we're going to start with, let's start with the Celestial Eagle. So looking for a 5 or less from the ASF. That is a 4. We will take down the Soviet spy satellite. Removing that. Moving into I-3. So this will be the destroyer and the frigate. So the frigate will attack at 2, the destroyer at a 4 against the Soviet boat. Come on, there we go. That'll be a 3. So we will kill the Soviet sub in I-3. But alas, he gets to shoot back at a 4. 1 ping. He will hit. We will take the frigate. Very nice shooting backfire. But let's do it again. So now we have a frigate attacking at a 2. But this time just a fighter at a 3. And that will be a miss. So that sub will silent run. Arguably the more important sub to kill. Oh well. 1 to 2, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and fire that cruise missile with SpySat into Tunisia. So that's at a 5 or less. And yep, you can see that. That's a 9. That is unfortunate. Alrighty. So now, in my notes, let's look at this battle in all its glory. So I have staged my aircraft here with I got Top Gun markers for a couple of those. With the fuel dice underneath. It's got a lot of different ones here, so I want to be clear on which ones I'm taking with how much room they have left. So yeah, these 2 were Top Gun as well. So adding that. And that means they attack at 6s. Alrighty, so here's the whole board. We got a lot of first strikes. So let's get into it. Backfire is elected to use Kim, and his Sam will be firing AA as well. So let's go ahead. We will have 2 1s for Kim. Let's go ahead and fire those, see if we get some disruption. 12, 8. No disruption. All right, we then have 6 cruise missiles. I don't normally use yellow for 5s, but we will go out of my dice standard here because I can't find them. All right, so, nope, that's 6. 6 at 5 or less. That is a 3 and a 1. So we will have 2 target selects there against Soviet units. So we will target select the mechs. We'll take those off. Since we have PGM, we get target select. All right, that is that. Now I've got 3 3s here. Excuse me, 3 2s for the Soviet SAM. That die's cocked over there. That is an 11. So that misses. And then we'll have 2 3s. For Soviet Chem from the SP artillery. That is 1 hit at a 3. So we will be disrupted. Ouch. So we'll move the airborne down from 2 to 1. The air cav from 3 to 2. Oofta. Alrighty, so we have paid backfires taxes with that. We don't have any taxes because of that. I'm gonna remove the cruise missiles they have fired. And let's get into it. So a lot of 1s here without target select. We'll roll the SAM in a different color. So these are going to be the light infantry and then 2 airborne. And then the SAMs at a 1. Let's see, there's 1 SAM. And then, gosh, where's my infantry? Okay, well, the SAMs will be in the white and the red. There are enough air targets for that between the air cav and attack helos. So let's go ahead, all at once. All right, oh my gosh, the infantry hit twice. There's a 1 and a 1. Then 3 7 miss, 10, 4s, 11, 6, 3, and 2 will all miss. We have 2 ground hits. Can't believe that. Let's pull up that casualty order. So we're going to have a SAM and the SP artillery. So go ahead and take those off the board. That is our 1s. We can get 5 dice for the strategic bomber, and now 1 die for the air cav, which has been bumped down to a 2. And that's 1 hit. Right up here, that 2, that's upside down. 2. 11, 6, 12, 3, and 5. So 1 more hit. That will go to the airborne. Go ahead and slide that off. All right. A10 at 5. That's a 9, that'll miss. 3 fighters at 6. And then those will be the green, and the orange will be the 2 attack bombers at 7. And that's a couple of target selects. 9, 5, 10. So that'll be 2 target selects. That's ground target selects. So I think we can take the air cav since they are now classified as ground units. So we'll take air cav. And oh, a 5 hits. That's a general hit. That's an airborne. All right, and then the air war. So we have 3 Top Gun ASFs at 6 and 2 ASFs at 5. That's a 1, 3, 2, and 4. So the 3 attack helos will be dead, along with 1 air cav. Which I slid those off the board. Those still get to defend. Let's move those back. 3 air cav. two there, and 2 more airborne. There's 4. There we go. Okay. Roll the defense, so there will be 3 2s. Then 4 air cav at 4, and then alternate die, 3 attack helos at 4. I do believe that was correct. Let me double check since I moved those off. The Sam and the Sparty already fired. Airborne, the mechs were first strike casualties. So 4 air cav, 3 attack helo. Yep. Alright, so the 3 airborne, the 3 attack helo, the 4 air cav. Alright, so got a 1 there. 3 and 5 will miss. 5, 7, 10, 10. Oh my gosh, backfire, that's horrible. 12, 10, 10. So that'll be 1 general hit, and we will take that from an airborne. All right, removing all the casualties. We will have a airborne and an air cav left defending. All right, our B-52 will retire, as well as our SAMs and our field artillery. I'm gonna start from the top down here. We will roll for some overkill. So we got 2 7s, 3 6s, a 5 for the A10. And 2, 9 will miss, 4, 11 will miss, 7 will hit, 9 will miss. So there's 3. Let's go ahead and fire the 2, and then the 4 1s as well. 1s are hitting in this battle on both sides. Pink. So the pink are the 1s. That made a liar out of me. All misses. And then the 3 Top Gun ASFs and 3 Top Gun ASFs, 2 regular ASFs. These can only hit the air cav. And well, there was a 2 and a 3. So achieved overkill. Roll the defending airborne and air cav. Ouch. 6 and 9. So we will take that, losing only a light, or excuse me, losing only an airborne. Let's go ahead and remove that Soviet marker. Remove the airborne. And marker for the board. Syria is not worth anything, but the U.S. does receive a +1 IPP bonus for controlling it. All right. And that will be all of our attacks. So let's go ahead and resolve for Egypt. Here we need a 10 or higher. Egypt will align twice. So those units will become U.S. and the U.S. will go up 2 for owning it with Suez. So 47, 48, 49 is what I'm reflecting there for the U.S. Very nice. All right. More units to play with is always fun. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do those non-combat moves. So I'm going to start by landing aircraft. So we have 2 Top Gun ASFs with 2 remaining. Those will land on the carrier, which the whole 5th fleet is going to move up into that very crowded zone with those Soviet SSNs on silent running. fired. Here we go. All right, so we'll land these two on that super carrier. We'll then land the one Top Gun ASF on the super carrier that originated from the super carrier in M8. And that leaves two regular ASFs. These are going to exchange with the fleet in M6, or excuse me, I6, except that fleet is moving to I7. So we'll show you here. So those ASFs moved 1, 2, and then moved 3, 4, 5, 6 to land on the 6th fleet here, which that fighter doesn't need to go anywhere, it'll just drop in. It's landing there with the 6th fleet. Alrighty, another crowded sea zone. The A-10. Oh, I never flew the A-10 over, but I rolled for it. The A-10 flew over. Sorry. It then will go 1 and land in Egypt, Israel. One of the fighters, one of the fighters with 3 remaining, will land in Israel as well. Attack bomber will also land in Israel. One of the other fighters, the naval one, will land on the fleet. That is one with 3 remaining. The one with 4 remaining will head back to Suez. So, yeah, let's leave it there. The B-52 will also fly back to Suez, and one of the attack bombers will head to Suez. Combat landing, all the normal things. There we are. Okay, that should be all of our aircraft and stuff from the Syria battle. Alright, so then coming over to the Atlantic here, this fleet, this 10th fleet on this fleet card, is going to pick up the 2 Marines onto that amphib, and they're going to sail 1, let's see it, from here, 1, 2, 3, to A42, which you can't see. Yes, running a professional operation there. There we are, down to A42. While we're right here, we're going to drive 1, 2 to Catalonia, that MBT. We'll finish our sea lift here, 1, 2, 3 to Valencia, 1, 2 to Extremadura with those next-gen MBTs. We will airlift the SAM from Southeast US to Israel. Double checking my notes. That should be it. But we do have Egyptian forces that can move here as well. So those are all the blue forces. I think we are going to leave those as is. So actually, we're going to advance the field artillery and those 2 light infantry No. We're going to leave them all. Leave them where they are. They'll just flip to US. I will do that off camera. That will reflect in my status of forces for everyone that those are US. All right, let's go ahead and place some units. I'm going to start with the aid delivery. The next-gen MBT is going to be built at the Palmkiss site here in Rhineland. So that is the U.S. Army Europe Task Force marker. The destroyer will be built at Southeast U.S. Oh, that was weird. It will be built at Southeast U.S. And War Doctor, you elected for that to be delivered. Where did you elect that to be delivered? I lost the pinned chat. Here we go. We wanted it delivered down here in the Med. We will deliver it in port here in southern Italy. So that will be in port in southern Italy. All right, our aid to South Africa. The attack helo and air cav are going to be delivered by sea to the major port here in A49, and those will come into South Africa there as well. Alrighty, our Egyptian air cav, military aid, even though these are now US, still has to be delivered. We're going to deliver that to the minor air base here via heavy airlift in Suez. And that will be all of our military aid. So let's go ahead and do our stuff. So staying here in the Middle East, the MBT and next-gen MBT are going to be built at the Army base in Israel. The fighter will be built at the air base here in Israel. So that'll be 2 fighters now hanging out in Israel. And on our fleet, using the U.S. special ability, we are going to build on the 5th Fleet's amphibious assault ship a attack helicopter. Coming over to the U.S., we are going to build that airborne, the Army base in southern U.S. Coming down to the fleet here. So this is the fleet in A42. We will deliver or build on the carrier the fighter and attack bomber. All right, we will then build 2 ASMs, 2 cruise missiles, and we need to upgrade our Army base. There's that Army base upgrade off camera. All right, let's take you up to the annex. All right, so we're gonna build those 2 anti-ship missiles as well as the 2 cruise missiles. All right, so we will collect 49 IPP. 49 IPP here from our normal build. We'll then get +1 to 50 for capturing Syria. Let me assess battle stars here really fast. I don't have those there. Okay, come on. Okay, so battle stars, we will get 1 for capturing Syria. That is our only land battle star. Naval, we sunk an enemy submarine defending alone. So there's another battle star. No others. Enemy capital ship. No. Then fighter class units did not get any air superiority kills. Those were ASFs. No surgical strike. Okay, so we'll just collect 2 from that. So with that, we will have 50 IPP, 2 battle stars. But wait, there's more. We have more dice to roll. So with the new nuclear rules, looking at the VP differential and then the IPP differential. So what War Doctor and I have calculated here is, the whole team, is there will be 7 dice for Team Blue, 2 for Team Red, and these are 11 or higher. This will be released for battlefield nukes. So this will still have to be confirmed by each player at the start of their next turn, but this will allow the release. And oh my gosh, that's disastrous. Team Blue will be Team Red will be released on that 11, but Team Blue will not. Ouch. All right, with that, I will pass it off to, it will be Backfire, I believe, covering for Dakota on the next turn. Take care.